All right. As I had mentioned, we went and did that seminar in London in 2009, and I had prior to that time I had been emailing with a lady who lived in England, who was in fact the queen of the fairies, and she's an incarnate fairy. All right. But she had left Ireland on account of threat of her life, and so she was living in England. But I was communicating with her. She didn't live that far away from London, so I said, "Hey, we'll be done with the seminar on Monday. If you can come visit on Tuesday before we leave, I really appreciate it." She said, "Okay, I'll come." And so anyway, she did. She came and spent a day with us, and we had a chance to visit, make friends, and all those kind of things. And as she told me later on, as she was anticipating not coming,
Right,
she
right.
said Jermaine physically came and drug her out of bed. Said, "You
Wow.
get on down there." He comes into physicality sometimes, and she said he's come into physicality several times around her.
Wow.
All right, so he usually don't. All right. So anyway, so after the London thing, she and I had, emailed back and forth, and over a period of time, we developed, a friendship. And then she opened up to me and demonstrated that she's also a very powerful shaman. I mean, I could tell you stories about that. But in any event, when I was over there in 2009, that would be like in September of 2009, we took a tour, went up to the observatory. We saw the prime meridian, how they got a little brass plate in the ground. They got that prime meridian running through there. So looked down at, I looked down the thing, and sure enough, the prime meridian running right through the city of London. Now, people that don't know the difference, there's the city of London and then there's London. All right, the city of London is what we talked about a while ago about history. All right. So I realized that the city of London was in control of that timeline.
Yes.
And it's an artificial timeline, which means that the start and stop of commerce are artificially created. I said, let me think about that for a while.
Awesome.
Along about 2011, I'm communicating with this lady, and by that time I had learned just how powerful she was, because she had demonstrated it to me in several ways. And so I asked her, I said, "Are you capable of moving the prime meridian over to the Dragon Rose line?" Now, the Dragon Rose line is the one that's in that Da Vinci Code movie, Dan Brown and Tom
Sure,
Hanks,
sure.
everybody running around, all that kind of stuff. Okay, so it's not very far over there from there in England. We get down into France a little bit, be a little bit further away because the contour of the earth. All right. So I said, "Can you move that over there?" She said, "Yep." And I said, "Well, move it." She said, "Okay." And she told me that when she does things on the ether, it generally takes 3 days to materialize in the physical world. So I wasn't expecting anything. But anyway, the next day on Skype, she was hot to get me on Skype. She said, "I can't believe it. I can't believe it." I said, "What's that?" She said, "If I hadn't been watching, I wouldn't have seen it." She said, "But from about 8 o'clock in the morning until 3 in the afternoon," she said, "time stood still because that line was moving over to the Rose line."